Welcome to Echo Tales, where true stories leave echoes and some echoes refuse to die. What do you know about the Mau Mau movement? Was it a rebellion or a fight for survival? Or was it a sacred war? At the beginning of the 20th century, Kenya was under British colonial rule. Land was seized, names were erased, and the bond between the living and the dead was violently broken. For the Kikuyu, Embu, and Meru communities, land was not property. It was life itself. It was where ancestors slept, where blood was poured into the soil during rites of passage, where prayers rose toward Ngai, who watched from Kirinyaga, Mount Kenya. When that land was taken, the earth itself was believed to cry out. Africans were herded into reserves, forced to labor on stolen ground, punished for remembering who they were. By the late 1940s, resistance grew in the shadows. Political meetings were held by day. But by night, men and women disappeared into the forest. Not just Kikuyu, but also Embu and Meru sons and daughters, bound by the same loss, the same hunger, the same stolen future. There, beneath the cover of darkness, the Mau Mau oaths were taken. Not in public halls, but under sacred trees. Beside rivers believed to carry ancestral memory, sometimes naked, sometimes smeared with animal blood. The initiate would swear loyalty to the land, to the fighters, and to death itself, if necessary. They swore never to betray the movement, never to sell land to the colonizer, never to cooperate with the enemy, to kill or be killed if commanded. The oath was sealed with symbols meant to terrify the soul. Goat blood, soil from ancestral land, roots of sacred plants. In some ceremonies, meat was shared in complete silence, a warning that betrayal would be repaid in kind. Breaking the oath was believed to invite madness, wasting illness, or a death so unnatural it denied burial among ancestors. By October 1952, the colonial government declared a state of emergency. They did not just fear guns, they feared the oath. Thousands were arrested, villages were burned, suspected oath-takers were beaten, until names were demanded. In response, the fighters vanished deeper into the forests of Mount Kenya and the Aberdares. Forests colonial forces feared to enter at night. Forests said to whisper warnings. Forests where footsteps disappeared and compasses failed. Some soldiers claimed the fighters dissolved into fog. Others spoke of screams that did not sound human. From these forests rose Dedan Kimathi. To the British, he was a terrorist. To his followers, he was the embodiment of the oath, a man who spoke with the authority of ancestors. Others followed. General China, master of strategy. Field Marshal Muthoni Kirima, who carried a rifle and the weight of prophecy. Stanley Mathenge, who vanished so completely that some believed the forest itself claimed him. Between 1952 and 1960, Kenya became a land of fear. Detention camps swallowed thousands. Controlled villages became prisons. Oaths were forced out through torture, but silence often won. By 1960, the forest war faded, but the oaths did not die. Independence came in 1963. Yet for years, the Mau Mau name was spoken carefully, as if the oath was still listening. In 2013, the British government acknowledged abuses and compensated survivors. But no compensation could erase what had been sworn in blood. The Mau Mau movement did more than fight colonialism. It bound a people, Kikuyu, Embu and Meru, to their land through fear, sacrifice and sacred promise. This is Echo Tales, where old rules were written in fear. Support our work through sharing, liking, commenting, and follow for more stories that survived, because they were never forgotten.